Hello and welcome back for your daily dose of LOL Esports content, where we're going to cover the games that took place in the LPL, LCK, and LCS from earlier today, as well as preview all four major regions games for tomorrow. Predictions: I'm 78 and 41, went 6 and 3 on the day. First, we have Gen G and KDF. Gen G would win 2-0. Keen was the MVP going deathless. 13-0, 14, 31% of damage. It looked like the Keen of old against actually his longtime former club in the Afrika Freaks, now known as Kwangdong Freaks. Canyon 6-3, 21 in the jungle. Bulldog 6-8-5, 27% of damage in the loss. So, close game one, to be honest with you. At 1645, 700 gold lead for Gen G. So it's anyone's game. Top side, heavily favored KDF. 17 CS for Doodoo and 10 for Cuz. But a significant thing here, the bot lane was the point of contention. Bull on the Lucian actually had a 2v2 kill in both games as the Gen G bot lane struggled in the early laning phase. Canyon would offset that by going bot lane 5 times combined in both laning phases, 3 times in game 1. That also secured both Drakes. Pays on the Aphelios had early kills as a result. Bulldog on the Orianna offset that. I believe he went, I think this was the game where he went bot side, got a couple kills to offset that in the early game. Keen on the K'Sante, though, in team fights was super strong in the late game. And Doodoo on the Aatrox made it difficult for Gen G. There was a team fight that KDF lost, and he almost had like 10k damage, which is insane for a top laner, Aatrox or not. I was shocked, and Keen was able to outplay him, of course, because he's on K'Sante. K'Sante is a newer champion, therefore is more broken. Game 2, very different story. Gen G blew him out. By 15 minutes, they had over a 5k gold lead. 19 CS lead for Canyon and 26 CS lead for Chovy. Bull, once again on the Lucian, does get a 2v2 kill, but Chovy on the Yone was a menace in team fights. One team fight around Drake especially, along with Canyon, really kind of just got the ball moving. Canyon, Sejuani, all over the place, very good on the tank, and Keen on the Udyr had a solo kill in the mid to late game and was just, soaking up damage and then getting kills afterwards. Like, he was unkillable. And, a handful for KDF in this loss. So Bull and Andal continue to do well, but the rest of KDF did struggle. D plus HLE. HLE went 2-0. Viper 15-2-12, 28% of damage. Delight 0-1-31. So the bot lane went 15-3 and 43 combined. That is quite a diffy. Kingin 295, 28% of damage in the loss as D plus once again focused topside. A lot of their attention from Lucid going top. I don't really get it. Kingin should just be weak side and not be given all these resources. Even into Doran, I don't think that made much sense. Game 1, 16-minute laning phase. HLE are up 2.2k gold. 36 CS lead for Viper. Delight over Aiming and Kellen. Delight on the Nami, 100% KP as the team got ahead. Peanut on the Vi, some key kills in a mid-game team fight, and then Viper on the Lucian cleaning things up. It was one of these series with D Plus and HLE are generally not very entertaining, to say the least. There aren't a lot of scuffles. There's not a ton of kills. Game 2, 15-minute laning phase, and D Plus Kia are up almost 2k gold. 20 CS lead for Lucid. 19 CS lead for D Plus's bot lane, but 25 CS lead for, no, that's not. I have green next to each other because of Nip and Team Wii. Let me take back those CS diffies. D Plus are ahead in all areas, a 37 CS lead for the bot lane. That's a lot different, right? That's huge. Lucid took a trip top, mid, and bot. Was able to secure both Drakes as a result. And Kingin on the Gnar had a really good team fight in the early to mid game. Now, that's all I could really say about Kingin. I think he had a double kill, so both of his kills occurred in that fight, and I wrote his name down. But Zeka on the Corki, once he got online, he was unkillable. And, not necessarily unkillable, but he was killing everything. And then Viper on the, what do I have here? Callista was able to, I think, get a triple or a quadra at the end of the game to seal it. Um, Viper ends up being MVP. I think you can make pretty much anybody on HLE MVP as D plus struggled. I thought Lucid was fine. There were some moments where he made some mistakes, but rookies will do that. Otherwise, he looked just as good as I would expect into Peanut, right? LPL, Nip and Team Wee. Nip win 2-1. Rookie MVP 16-5-17, 30% of damage. Joao 3-4-35 at support. Fofo 5-6-13, 37% of damage in the loss as he deals over 900 DPM. His Azir has to be the most underrated Azir in the world, and it's because you would not think Fofo when you think Azir at all. Yet his DPM is exceptionally high on the champion, one of the highest in the world outright. And despite only playing it, he played it in games 1 and 2. In game 3, he was able to lay down some damage as well on the Corki. But it didn't really make a difference because Nip were on a mission in this one in games 2 and 3, trying to recover after getting blown out in their last series. Game 1, Team Wee had a 2K gold lead at about 15 minutes. 42 CS lead for Wayward on the Darius into Shanji. Shanji was an afterthought in this series for the most part. He did have a nice play in game 3, but otherwise he was frankly just Wayward did just fine into him. And it was kind of funny because when I saw it, the solo kill, I was like, wow, Ching Tian started over Wayward because he was better on champions like this in top esports last year, and Wayward was able to get a solo. Rookie on the Talia got the team ahead at one point. Nip were actually looking pretty good. They did have 2 early Drakes, which helped their cause. Hang playing Dr. Mundo for Team Wee, just kind of struggling in the very early game. Fofo on the Azir, though, as the game went along, just got so powerful, it was unable to, they weren't able to stop him. And then Prince on the MF had a quadra to end the game. The only guy playing MF right now in the 4 major regions and looking very good on it. Game 2, close laning phase, 600 CS diff. 600 CF diff would be massive. 600 gold diff. 20 CS lead for Aki over Hang. 19 for Photic Zhu into Prince Iwandi. Iwandi in Game 3 especially struggled mightily in this series. 25 CS lead for Fofo into Rookie, though. Joao on the Rakan, 2v2 kill. His Rakan was nasty in games 2 and 3. Frankly, I debated on making him MVP, but because Rookie was also present in game 1, I held back. Rookie on the Silas came through strong in the mid game that got them ahead. And Fofo on the Azir was laying down damage, but it wasn't enough as Nip were able to get the win. Photic as well in games 2 and 3, very strong. Hence, he went 16-5. Oh, actually, I don't have his KDA up here because he didn't deal the team leading damage, which is why his name isn't on the board, but I'm adding him in anyways because I just remember how he was just getting all the kills, frankly, on the Xayah. Game 3, close laning phase, only 500 gold for Team Wee at 16 minutes. 33 CS lead for Wayward into Shanji once again. Really getting after Shanji in all 3 games. 51 plus 84 divided by 3, that's the diffy at end of laning phase. 20 CS lead for Fofo. Bot lane for Nip up 20. Aki all over the place in Game 3. Very active on the Sejuani. Very different player from his last series. He hit everywhere at least once and were able to get a couple picks in the jungle. Shanji on the Kesante had a solo kill in this one. Like I said, he did have one moment where he stood out. Rookie on the Talia, once again, great walls, able to do what he had to do, facilitating. In the end, he was just trying to do everything, carrying with all that damage and facilitating. Photic on the Xayah, like I said, I actually did write his name down. He was just soaking up all the kills, and it was just kind of one of those things where, you want it to be on the 80 carry, right? So, Nip win 2-1. Close laning phases. Ultra Prime FPX, Ultra Prime win 2-1. Yukai Great series, maybe his best of his career thus far. 18, 2 and 12, 33% of damage. Jui 0, 2, 31 at support. Care 386 and 30% of damage in the loss. Thought FPX would win this one. It just simply wasn't the case as Yukai came out swinging. Game 1, before 14 minutes, Up have a 2.2k gold lead. CS is very close, but they have both grub spawns. And Yukai on the Azir was online. Hacker on the Sejuani. Pacing Milky Way in this one, ahead of him all the time. And actually, in all 3 games, he had a CS lead over Milky Way as the rookie struggled. Game 2, FPX returned the favorite. 15 minutes ahead, 2k themselves. 19 CS lead for Xiaolahu into Decade. 14 for Care into Yukai. Xiaolahu on the Gnar, doing very well. Duck Dom on the Lucian, super strong. Yukai on the Akali was able to get a solo kill. I mean, in 3 games, he only died twice, right? So it's hard not to mention him in even Game 2 as being a strong player for Ultra Prime. However, the attention to the grubs and to the bot side out of FPX got Ultra Prime's bot lane of Doggo Jue behind, and Duck Dom and Life were able to make things happen. Game 3, FPX have a gold lead at 1430, about 2k, 35 CS of that on Xiaolahu on the Fiora. Haven't seen a Fiora in the 4 major regions yet, and today was the day as he really dumpstered Decade on the Aatrox in the laning phase, but as the game went along, the Fiora lost a lot of value. Yukai on the Corki laying down a lot of damage. Jue on the Nami, 100% KP as the team got ahead. Hacker clearly going to the bot side of the Rift, hitting mid and bot twice each. Doggo on the Lucian, finishing things off with a lot of damage. Anyone's Legend LGD. LOL Esports had LGD winning this one, but after watching it, Anyone's Legends did 2-1. Shanks MVP 19-6-12, 41% of damage. Hope 10-5-18. Kepler 12-9-13, 32% of damage in the loss. You could argue Krakow should be MVP, but his inability to smite, especially in Game 1, was hard to watch. Meteor gapping him in the smite department, stealing multiple Drakes in the early game. That was all that was really happening. I mean, and then outside of that, Krakow was able to actually get a cheese gank in all 3 games in the bot lane. I mean, I don't know what LGD's bot lane were doing in even Game 3 after Krakow has lane ganked you twice already. You should be prepared for it. They really weren't. They're up 1.6k gold lead at 1630 in Game 1. 12 CS lead for Hai Chao into Shanks. Meteor on the Maokai, like I said, gets a couple Drakes. Goes mid lane. Hope on the Varus does get some work done. However, Hai Chao on the Tristana deals enough damage to win the game for LGD. Game 2, close laning phase at 14 minutes, only 600 gold diff. 18 CS lead for Birdall over Harry. But Shanks on the Azir was a menace. Just dealing a shit ton of damage, hence 40%. In games 2 and 3, it was the Shanks show, and give him as much gold and give him as many resources as possible. Kepler on the Varus, making things happen. I think he stole a Drake in Game 2, another instance where Krakow kind of struggled. But Krakow on the Rel, I did write his name down. He does deserve credit in Games 2 and 3 for helping get Shanks ahead, for helping get the bot lane in a good position. Like I said, all 3 games he was able to find a gank. In Game 3, once again, another not big diffy. I mean, 800 gold at 1630. 26 CS lead for Meteor on the Maokai, but he dealt more DPM than Krakow. But Krakow saying, oh, well, I don't want damage. I don't want damage from me. I'm going to get Shanks in a good position. He went mid 3 times, ensuring Shanks was going to be ahead of Hai Chao. Shanks once again on an Azir and Hope on an Ezreal, dealing a lot of damage. In the late game, getting some kills, but frankly, it was the Shanks show. I mean, who am I kidding? I can't say Hope dealt a lot of damage when a player on his team dealt 40%. I mean, the AD carry was just trying not to end his face-off, which is hard for him most of the time. LCS, Immortals C9. Immortals upset C9 in what was a truly Brion classic. We had some bro classics in the LCS today. Absolutely disgusting. Tactical 302, 38% of damage. Mask 105 in mid. Berserker 301, 43% of damage in the loss. Laning phase was under 13 minutes. I mean, C9 had a 2.2k gold lead. They had a CS lead in every department. I mean, 18 CS for Blabber, 17 for the bot lane, and they threw it away as Tactical on the Ezreal, getting some kills around key team fights, and then them just staring at each other and, I don't know, playing a game of chicken for about 40 freaking minutes. And there is no MVP in this one. Everybody lost, fans included. Berserker on the Varus, I mean, and Tactical on the Ezreal, just dealing damage back and forth. Nobody dying, nobody getting anything done. Armeo on the Ivern had 100% KP when this game was over. Team Liquid NRG. NRG win. FBI 3-0-14, 27% of damage on Senna. Huhi 2-1-13 on Tom Kench. If you recall, the 100 Thieves days with these two. The Senna bots are their favorite, so 5, 1, and 27 combined is about right. Team Liquid, Yeon 2-3-4, 35% of damage in the loss. 1645 NRG have about a 1k gold lead. Impact up 15 on Dokla, but 38 CS lead for Palafox into APA. He was dominating him until the mid game when APA got a solo on him. But Contracts on the Graves was, I mean, he dictated everything off the rip against Empty, and as the game went along, that would continue. Now, this was another game that went forever. FBI on the Senna, 100% KP through almost the entire game. Palafox on the Orianna, great shockwave in the final team fight that ended a lot of people's misery watching such a long game where nobody seemed to want to win, or at least want to risk losing. I think that's a better phrase. I shouldn't say they didn't want to win. These players didn't want to risk losing. Shopify Rebellion, Dignitas. Dignitas win. Tomo 10-3-8, 33% of damage on Varus. Isles 0-1-19. So the bot lane 10-4-27. Zazel 0-4-5, 26% damage in the loss on the Senna. You do not want your support leading you in damage, even if it's on a Senna, from my perspective. 16-15 on the laning phase. Dignitas are up about 2k gold and have a CS lead in all 4 departments. Dove up 13 over Insanity. Insanity playing Garen mid. At least there was that. That was interesting. Fake got on the Kesante. Actually had 2 solo kills in this game. One onto Rich, and it was ironic because I thought Dignitas' win con would be Rich because B-Voy had played so well last weekend, and in the end, B-Voy had one great moment on Kalista with a quadra kill to stop Dignitas from ending in the very late game. And outside of that, it was the Tomo show. XU on the Sejuani, opening them up a lead in the early game, going bot lane twice. And Tomo returned the favor by winning the damn game on the Varus. I mean, I was surprised. I thought B-Voy was going to show more, but in the end, I mean, he's alongside a guy playing Garen mid, and he's like, in all my travels throughout, B-Voy may be the most traveled pro player ever in terms of how many different regions he's played in. And I don't think he had Garen mid on his bingo card this year. So, that quadra was nice, but Tomo on the Varus was just stronger. 100 Thieves Fly Quest. This one was over at the end of laning phase. Fly Quest up 4.7k gold at 15 minutes. Masu 617, 28% of damage. Inspired 1014. Sniper 221, 27% of damage in the loss. Meech on the Kalista, Masu on the Varus did exchange 2v2 kills. That bot lane was spicy. Buzio on the Nico, dealing a ton of damage, like surprising Pop Blossom damage in the mid game on some of these carries for 100 Thieves. Bwippo on the Olaf did solo kill Sniper. So Sniper only to die a couple times. With that in mind and leading his team in damage is a nice thing. River, although he was more active than Inspired in the laning phase, it didn't matter because all of these kills were coming over for FlyQuest. They were just, the pressure they had on 100 Thieves was immense. 100 Thieves had no answer. 26 CS lead for Jensen in mid over Quid, as Quid struggled in this one. Bwippo, like I said, on the Olaf into the Aatrox, solo kill and getting ahead. A 5k gold lead at 15 minutes. There was a lot of skirmishing after that, but it was like, okay, FlyQuest are just in control of this one. It's just a matter of when they want to end and figure it out. That's one of the bigger problems I have right now at the LCS. When I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself, these teams don't know how to end the game. Like, what are we doing? End the game. The struggle to end is just, it's hard to watch. It really is. Sneak peek for tomorrow. LPL, top Esports, Rare Atom, top 1-1, coming off of a win against EDG. Rare Atom 0-3, coming off of loss to IG. Last time they played, top Esports won 2-0. 4 of the 10 starters are the same. Jackie Love 14-1-17, 32% of damage in the win. Assume 296, 24% in the loss. IG Thunder Talk, IG 2-1, coming off of a win against Rare Atom. Thunder Talk 1-2, coming off of a loss to OMG. Last time they played, Thunder Talk won 2-0. Nearly all the starters return. The only change is that Yao Yao not for Thunder Talk anymore, and Chow Chow playing at support instead. So UCal had the highest DPM in that series, going 21, 1, and 11, 29% of damage. Cryan went 0, 11, 3, 22% of damage in mid in the loss. EDG, BLG, EDG 0 and 3, coming off of a loss to LGD. BLG 3-0, coming off of a win against Anyone's Legend. Last time they played, BLG would win 2-1. 6 of the 10 starters are the same. Shun and Elk went 23, 14, and 37 with 40% of BLG's damage. JJ and Leave, 18, 20, and 29, 43% of damage in the loss. Excuse me. LCK, KT DRX, KT 3-2, coming off of a win against Bro. DRX 1-4, coming off of a loss to T1. Last time they played, KT won 2-0. Only 2 players remain from that game. Rascal on DRX, BDD on KT. BDD would go 10-4, 25, 23% of damage. T1 and Bro, T1 4-1, beat DRX. Bro 0-5, just lost to KT. Last time they played, Bro won 2-1. This was during the time when Faker was out with an injury. I didn't write it down. I think it's 7 of 10 starters return. Morgan and Effort would go 10, 13, 36, 30% of damage in the win. Zeus Carria 4, 9, and 36 for 30% of damage in the loss. LEC best of 3 start tomorrow. Team Heretics BDS. Team Heretics 4-5, coming off of a loss to Fnatic. BDS 7-2, coming off of a loss to Carmine Corp. When they played in BO1s, BDS won. Nuke went 9-1-6, 40% of damage. Perks 4-4-2, 25% in a loss. Giant X and G2. Giant X are 4-5, G2 7-2. Giant X beat Rogue to get into playoffs. G2 7-2, beating SK. Last time they played, G2 would win. Caps 4-1-0, 30% of damage. Jackies 3-2-1, 32% of damage and loss. Shit. Came close, 22% of damage. I was going pretty good there. LCS, Team Liquid Dignitas, both 2-3. Last time they played, TL would win. Half of the starters are the same. Yeon 706, 29% of damage. Tomo 225, 28% in the loss. FlyQuest C9, last time they played, C9 would win. Fudge went 4-1-5, 29% of damage. 3 of the 10 starters are the same from that one, all on Cloud 9. Immortals 100 Thieves, last time they played, Immortals won. Only Tactical and Quid remain from those starting lineups. Tactical would go 11, 1, and 5 with 30% of damage in the win. Lastly, to finish us off, Shopify Rebellion and NRG. They've never played because Shopify are a new org. But when TSM and NRG played last year, TSM would win. Boogie and Insanity went 9-2 and 24 with 47% of damage against RNG last summer. Contracts and Palafox went 2-11-5 with 53% of damage in the loss. And that will be it for your daily dose of LOL Esports content. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.